You touched on it a little bit there, but like as a coach, there's a role they need to fill for your athletes. So like, what are the kind of responsibilities that you feel like you have towards the goalies that you work with?
I think first and foremost, like as a coach, your job is to maximize your athlete. And when I say maximize, it's everything. You're maximizing them in their skill set, in their skating, and their playing, and their reads, and their anticipations. But you're also dealing with them on a human basis. And I think that's that's the thing is, and I think that's another reason why we attract sort of what we attract in terms of the quality of goaltenders is because there's the human element here, and I think that's a part that's sort of taken away a little bit by like the social media stuff. Is there is a big human element, and so for the most part, what I like to do is I like to make myself available. And when I say available, it can be, and I tell guys all the time, it can be hockey oriented, it can be life oriented. I still to this day I still keep in touch with Chad Johnson, like where we talk all the time. He's a lifelong friend. And it's one of those things. I think there's a big human element that a lot of people miss. And I think that's the biggest part of understanding coaching is you're truly building a relationship with someone. There's a level of trust that has to be built. And if that trust isn't solid, I think you have a really tough time with any type of progress.
Fair enough. And then we're entering into the second half of the hockey season. Obviously, that's when things get, the days get longer. Well, the days get shorter, I should say. It's dark outside. It's cold, as we're seeing right now. How do you make sure your athletes keep peaking going to playoffs and all those big tournaments?
Again, it's maintenance. It's maintenance. It's rest. It's rest. It's working when you need to work. It's taking the rest when you need to work. A lot of the times when coming into like the second part of the season, people think that there's like a wave of momentum, and you really control your own momentum. And I think that's something that is overlooked a lot. I think a lot of times guys think about like, oh, well, I'm playing well. If I could just continue playing well, I'm going to keep things going. It's like, well, yeah, you're playing well, but why do you feel that way? You can get there every single time. You can get to that same feeling every single time. It's a matter of understanding how and why. And so the whole thing with the second half of the year is it's maintenance. There's times, like, I'll be honest with you, there's times where I've told guys early morning goalie session, don't come, take the time off. You need that extra sleep. You need that extra rest. Because at the end of the day, like your results there's a guy at the edge right now. He's gonna age out next year, and he's looking for junior work. He's looking for a job next year playing junior. So the whole thing that for him is like down the stretch, down the second half, is trying to keep him healthy. He's missed a couple games this year because he's had some injuries. So trying to keep him healthy, trying to make sure that, hey, any bit of rest, whether it be his knee, his hip, whatever it is that's hurting, are we affecting this, and how do we affect this, and let's take the proper progress. So when it's time to play, you're ready to play. Because at the end of the day, if you miss another 6 games, that could be opportunities that you're not getting watched, right? So there's so much maintenance, the mental side of things, making sure you're resting. Even the idea of, again, going back to the idea of result based. You know how many times people get super anxious? They're anxious about what's going to happen. Oh, there's a showcase, or the max tournament's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to get nerves already because it's big, it's scouted. Well, again, anxiety is being here in the now, but we're worrying about something in the future. Well, that doesn't exist. When that actually happens, it's going to be in the present moment. So why are we stressing out about it? So again, trying to get guys to especially at the edge right now, is trying to get guys to, it's break time. Let's break. Let's not focus on, hey, November 9th, we play NAX. You having that fear, having those thoughts isn't going to benefit anything right now. So what are you doing right now? Oh, you're at the outdoor rink. Enjoy it with your buddies. Oh, you've got Christmas with your family. Enjoy it with your family. In terms of like the off ice maintenance, and if there is any injuries or anything nagging, let's deal with it. Let's not try to push all these problems away and deal with them in 2 weeks. No, let's solve our problems now. If we can solve them now, going into the season, now we're starting fresh. We're refresh. We're actually going back as if it's day one rather than day 155.
Fear is only a mental construct. It's not real, basically. the No, with the edge, you're there quite a bit, right? You do goalie sessions, you do practices, you do videos. Like when you're on the ice now, when you were doing goalie ice times, do you follow a certain curriculum, or do you just like go week by week? How do you handle that?
Yeah, it's pretty flexible. When I say flexible, it is curriculum based. We definitely, from the start of the year, you start with basic skill stuff, just getting people comfortable again, and then you start to build in. But the cool part about being more consistent, like with that group and with it at the edge with the consistency, is getting to see video. So getting to see video, you can hear about it. You can talk to a guy and he can tell you what happened, but did that really happen? I don't know. Where if you can start to see video, then we can also slide in some maintenance for some individual work. I'm very open with the goalies as well. Every ice time I'll ask them how everything's going, how their games went, how they felt. Starting to build in a program now with them in terms of their pregame routines as well as their postgame, and getting them to have a little bit of self-reflection so they can come to me and be on the same page with their self-reflection, so they can come to me and say, like, I mean, obviously you want to try to be an A plus, B plus. If you can be consistently A in terms of your performance and your grade, if you're a B plus every time, your team's probably winning more than you're losing. So having a bit more, trying to build, I'm trying to get it group oriented, not just like one guy. Hey, this is how you're going to reflect. So we're still working out some kinks so everybody's on the same page. But being able to help with the idea of consistency and putting together plans of, hey, reflection. If someone comes to me and says, hey, I felt like I was a C, I didn't play very well, I had this many shots and this is what happened, I can go over the video and we can actually dissect it so we can put it together of like, okay, man, I would agree you're a C. Now, how do we get you back to a B plus? What are the situations that you had troubles with? What gave you problems? You can talk about it verbally. They can do some mental reps, and then next time you're on the ice, we can start to work on some things. Practice, when you get to practice, that's the thing when we talk about practice. So many times people, and when you get a little bit older and you start to play junior, practices get hard. Guys are coming, they're firing pucks, and sometimes you feel like you're a target. It's target practice, but there's always something you can take out of a drill. Always something. So when I'm on the ice during practice with them, that's what I'm looking for. You don't have to stop every puck of practice. That's unrealistic. It's a matter of like, instead of looking at just every shot, because lots of coaches think shot. Instead of looking at every shot, let's look at the situation. If we can handle the situations with consistency, now when those situations happen in a game, hey, we're already prepared. We've already seen this play before. We've already seen these things happen. If it's just shots, hey, it depends on who you are. I know this year I've told Ben Polhill, U18 guy, 6'3", I've told him, hey, during this drill, you are not allowed to leave your goal line. You're going to sit on the goal line. They're going to come in because you're on the goal line. They're going to walk in closer and shoot, and you're at a disadvantage. Yeah, you might only make 4 or 5 saves here, but what I want you to focus on is your patience. I want you to be more patient from your feet. I want your elbows off your body so we can focus on you reacting with your hands. Because if you end up being 3 feet above the blue paint, and guys are just shooting them into your pads and shooting it into your chest, are you going to do that in a game? No. So are we actually getting better, or are we just going through the motions, right? So putting together development plans for their practice is key, because now they understand what they're working on rather than just working to get tired.
Cool. Now, last question from me, and then we'll open up the questions to everybody else. What's the best piece of advice you got for any young athlete that wants to play in the NHL?
My best advice is, I thought about this one for a while, and honestly, the best advice is, it's your dream. It's your dream. Live it. Somebody's got to play in the NHL. Somebody has to do it. Why not you? I've watched it happen in front of my own eyes how many times now. Again, just to go through it, for people that don't know, right now it's Logan Thompson and Adin Hill, but before that, Chad Johnson was in the NHL. I coached a guy by the name of Nathan Lewin. Nathan Lewin's the owner of the Cranbrook Bucks Junior A. He played in the NHL. Mackenzie Skavsky played in the NHL at 20. I've worked with a guy like Nathan Lawson. Sam Britton got drafted to Florida and played in the American League in the East Coast. That's all under our banner and under our roof. So my whole thing is like, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Don't get me wrong. It's hard. But somebody's got to do it. So why not you? If it's something that you truly want and it's something that you want to do, go for it. Go all in, because it's possible. And it's possible more than once just from this small area, right? And so that my advice is again, there's paths. People are going to try to put you on their path. Find your own. And if it's your dream, live it. Someone has to do it.